Dear friends, welcome back to my channel. In this class, let us discuss about various different types of thermodynamic processes. Okay? Different types of thermodynamic processes. You might have heard them in the chemistry. Okay? The first one is isothermal process. Isothermal process. What is the meaning of the word iso? The meaning of the word iso is same, okay, or constant. Thermal means temperature here, okay. So therefore, the simplest definition for this isothermal process is it's a thermodynamic process that takes place at a constant temperature, okay. But if we go in deep, so there we must explain what changes may happen at a constant temperature. Actually, in case of an isothermal process, exchange of heat takes place between the system and the surroundings, which corresponds to the change in volume and pressure. You can also say here about Boyle's law. Okay, Boyle's law says that at a constant temperature, the pressure is inversely proportional to volume, like that. Here, at a constant temperature, the pressure and volume of a given mass of gas will vary. Okay, so therefore, isothermal process means it's a process that takes place at a constant temperature. That is, T is equal to constant. When a temperature is kept constant, what happens to delta T, that is change in temperature, that is equal to 0. Once the temperature is kept constant, there will be no change in internal energy of the gas, as we know well about it. Okay, therefore delta U is equal to 0. Therefore, first law of thermodynamics will become LOTD, means law of thermodynamics. According to the first law of thermodynamics, what happens? We say that delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. Since the change in internal energy is 0, delta Q will become delta W. Okay, so whatever change in heat happens, so that will simply convert into work done, like that. Next, what is the value of specific heat capacity here? Specific heat capacity, C value. C is given by delta Q divided by M into delta T. That I have taught it already, so in my previous classes, isn't it? C is equal to delta Q divided by M into delta T. Since delta T is equal to 0 and C will become infinity. Please remember, very important point for objectives. Okay, the value of specific heat capacity in case of an isothermal process is infinity. Okay, now one more thing about isothermal process is it obeys Boyle's law here. Therefore, PV is equal to constant, Boyle's law, and hence if we plot the graph between pressure and volume, then it will be a rectangular hyperbola like this. Okay, rectangular hyperbola. And one more thing about this isothermal process is isothermal process is a very slow process. It's a slow process. Please understand, isothermal process means the process that takes place at a constant temperature. Here exchange of heat energy takes place between system and the surroundings. Okay, hence the pressure and volume of a given mass of gas will vary, but the temperature remains constant. Once the temperature remains constant, change in temperature is equal to 0. If there is no change in temperature of the gas, means there will be no rise in its internal energy. Hence delta U is equal to 0. So if we put these data in first law of thermodynamics, we get delta Q is equal to delta W. And if you come to the value of specific heat capacity, the value of specific heat capacity becomes delta Q divided by M into delta T, that is equal to infinity, as delta T is equal to 0. Anything by 0 is infinity. Okay, and it obeys Boyle's law. Okay, Boyle's law here, PV is equal to constant. If you go for graphical representation, that is PV diagram, then we will get one rectangular hyperbola. Next, if we come to the property of isothermal process, it's a slow process. Which is the example for isothermal process? You can take melting of ice at 0 degrees Celsius, or conversion of water into water vapors at 100 degrees Celsius. You can call them as isothermal processes. Okay. Okay, next. The second type of process is an adiabatic process. Adiabatic process. What is an adiabatic process? Please remember, it's a thermodynamic process that takes place by keeping all the heat content of the system constant. Here there will be no exchange of heat energy between the system and the surroundings. Okay, temperature may vary here, pressure changes, volume changes, but the total heat content of the system is constant. That is, Q is equal to constant. When Q is constant, delta Q will be 0. That is change in heat, 0. Next, according to this first law of thermodynamics will become delta Q is equal to 0. Therefore, delta U plus delta W is equal to 0. So this is the form taken by the first law of thermodynamics. Next, if we come to here what is the value of specific heat capacity? In case of an isothermal process, the value of specific heat capacity is infinity. But how about here? We have this formula, C is equal to delta Q divided by M into delta T. Since delta Q is equal to 0, 0 by anything is 0. The value of specific heat capacity in case of an adiabatic process is 0. For isothermal, infinity. For adiabatic, 0. Next, if you come to here, the graphical representation. Okay, P versus V graph. It says that just like this rectangular hyperbola only, but it's a quick process, therefore slightly it will vary like that. Okay, so slope will be more in case of adiabatic process. The slope of this curve is more when compared to isothermal process. Hence we say that it's a quick process. It's a quick process. Unlike this isothermal process. Isothermal process is a slow process, whereas adiabatic process is a very quick process. Get me one example for adiabatic process. Please remember, bursting of a tire. Okay, a vehicle's tire, we can take an example as for adiabatic process. Okay, bursting of tire tube is an example for adiabatic process, which takes place at a constant heat. Okay, fine. Next, okay, that's it from adiabatic process. Okay, so remaining thing is amount of work done. That we have two derivations in our chapter, so let's see it later. Okay. Next, the third process is isobaric. Isobaric. Okay, here iso means same, bar means actually we take it as one of the unit for pressure. Hence we have to remember isobaric process means the thermodynamic process that takes place at a constant pressure. Here only the volume and the temperature may vary, but the pressure remains constant. Okay. Now here P is equal to constant. Next, so like that, the first law of thermodynamics will take the form delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. In place of delta W, we can write P into delta V. So this is the form of first law of thermodynamics. Next, the value of molar heat capacity, if we consider here, we won't say specific heat capacity since we discuss with a gas here. The value of molar specific heat capacity at constant pressure, Cp is given by delta Q divided by N into delta T. In place of M, we simply put N because that is specific heat capacity and it is a molar specific heat molar heat capacity that I have explained in my previous video in detail. Okay. Okay. So the value of Cp delta Q divided by N into delta T. If we go for PV diagram, P versus V diagram, please remember isobaric, constant pressure. Therefore, pressure remains constant. This is the PV diagram for an isothermal process. Okay. So the area under this PV diagram gives us the work done. Since it is P into V. Any thermodynamic process that takes place at a constant pressure is said to be an isobaric process. Next, fourth one, isochoric process. Isochoric. Please remember, iso means same, choric means volume. The thermodynamic process that takes place at constant volume is said to be isochoric process. Here pressure and temperature may vary, but the volume remains fixed. Such a type of process is called isochoric process. Here V is equal to constant. Therefore, delta V is equal to 0. That is, change in volume is equal to 0. Next, once the change in volume is 0, what we get probably W is equal to P into dV. Since W is equal to P into dV or delta V, since delta V is 0, W is equal to 0. Otherwise, delta W is equal to 0. Once delta W becomes 0, okay, what happens to the first law of thermodynamics? Therefore, first law of thermodynamics will become delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. Since delta W is equal to 0, here we can write delta Q is equal to delta U. Next, here the value of a specific, molar heat capacity turns to be Cv is equal to delta Q divided by N into delta T. You can also put V there and P here, no problem. Okay. Next, finally, if we come to the graphical representation, since in case of an isochoric process, volume is constant, we take like this. Okay, volume is fixed and pressure, temperature and all vary. Okay, such a type of process is called an isochoric process. Please remember, there are four basic thermodynamic processes in our syllabus. First one, isothermal process. Isothermal process means it's a thermodynamic process that takes place at a constant temperature. Okay, the value of specific heat capacity is infinity. Okay, So in case of an adiabatic process, what happens? So it's a thermodynamic process that takes place by keeping our total heat content of the system constant. So here the temperature varies, but total heat content will constant. Next, the value of C goes to 0. So the third one, isobaric process. Okay, iso means same, baric means pressure. So it's a thermodynamic process which takes place at a constant pressure. Okay. Similarly, the fourth one, isochoric process. What is an isochoric process? Means it's a thermodynamic process that takes place at a constant volume. Okay. After knowing all these basic processes, one more process is there. That one is quasi-static process. Quasi-static process. Here the word static represents rest, but actually here quasi-static means an infinitesimally slow process. Okay, what is a quasi-static process? Means an infinitesimally slow process that takes place throughout of which the system and the surrounding will be simultaneously in thermal equilibrium and mechanical equilibrium. Quasi-static process is a special type of process. Okay, it is an infinitesimally slow process throughout which both the system and the surroundings will be simultaneously in thermal equilibrium as well as mechanical equilibrium. Okay, such a type of process is called quasi-static process. Like this, we have these basic different types of thermodynamic processes in our syllabus. Okay, anyhow, in the next class, I am going to bring you three more different types of thermodynamic processes. But these four are very basic processes. Okay, anyhow, thank you for watching.